What's up? Good Friday. Jeremiah here, very grateful believer in Jesus Christ. We're going to touch on a little bit of nugget of truth, which is the helmet of salvation today. Helmet of salvation. A reminder, Ephesians 6:10. We're going to run it all down, so we're getting it all every day. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God, that you may be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, because of that, take up the full armor of God, that you may be able to resist in the evil day, and having done everything to stand firm. So stand firm, therefore, having girded your loins, so here's the armor, with truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. In addition to all, taking up the shield of faith, which you will be able to extinguish all the flaming missiles of the evil one. And today in 17, and take the helmet of salvation. So stop right there. So in the Roman army, the last thing that a soldier would put on of their armor is their helmet. So same thing here. The last thing that we put on is our helmet of salvation. Well, if salvation is a one-time thing, why do we got to keep putting that on daily? To remind us of the salvation that God gave us, the salvation that is before us. So to protect our mind, our thoughts from the enemy. So the battlefield of the mind, Joyce Myers calls it. So to be in preparation for the battlefield of the mind, to put our helmet of salvation on to protect our mind and our thoughts. Remind us of our salvation that God has given us. Remind us of that, and take those thoughts into our captivity, instead of the thoughts and the lies the enemy can deliver. Really, quite frankly, a heavy blow to our minds with doubt and fear, and even doubting unto our salvation. Are you really saved? Did God really save you? Did he really do this? All these things. Nope. Bullharky. So the helmet of salvation reminds us and protects our mind from the enemy and the lies that he tells us, so that we can put on our last bit of armor before we pick up the sword, which we'll talk about tomorrow. So reminder, put on the helmet of salvation, protect your mind. It could be a fatal place. Everything starts with our thoughts, starts with our mind, and then leads into actions and sin, and sin brings forth death, spiritually and physically, things like that. So that is so crucial that we protect our mind with the helmet of salvation, and remind ourselves daily of who we are in Christ. So put on the armor, knuckle up.